quite an interesting week, a week we've seen a lot of things happen politically, socially, of course. It's a season for politics, high-octane ones rolling the country. But also yesterday was my birthday, and I celebrated with children, and I turned a year older, and of course, I'm repeating this T-shirt because it's good to repeat clothes. Dr. Z, or what do we say?
I'm in solidarity,
Yeah.
and we say that actually, in high society
We
circles,
repeat clothes.
it's very prestigious
To repeat
you know, whatever you wore, because it shows that you actually own it and you mind about the environment.
You're not killing trees.
You're not killing trees, but also, you know, the landmines, they're filled with all these clothes. People don't know where to put them. So you have, if you keep on by the way, in Finland, I saw the first lady wore a different dress to an event. She changed and she got a lot of bashing. A lot of bashing, like, why are you changing your clothes? Yeah, you need to be seen to be repeating your clothes.
Anyway.
And not flying too many miles, being environmentally
friendly.
Yes.
So I'm your host, Charles Otieno. Welcome. Dr. C, introduce yourself.
And I'm Dr. C, the brains behind Samantha Wines. Yeah, and there is nothing humble about me, but my opinions are going to be humble, very humble today.
Are you sure they're humble today?
Yes.
Auntie Milo.
And I'm Auntie Milon. I say it as it is. Thank you, Dr. C and Charles, for welcoming me back again.
All right. Manuel Nchoai, a.k.a. the Manuscribe, a.k.a. Barbaras. Very happy to be here. You know, I bring the real vibes around, eh? And happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
How old are you right now?
I'm very young.
Cheers.
21.
Young as such, eh?
21.
Cheers.
21.
Yes,
21.
you can
Happy
be whatever
birthday.
age you want to be. Yeah. This is to Charles. May you continue inspiring us with knowledge.
Yes.
And this year, may you actually print that book. It's taking
My
rather
book,
long.
by the way, has to come out deadline August. Tumekubaliana.
Tumekubaliana.
So that people might understand that that book is what you need to read.
All right.
All right. Let's start with what's going on. The police brutality, the problem with our police force. It's actually not a police force. It's supposed to be a police service. In Nandi, a few weeks ago, you saw the police harassing the youth. In Bondo, a policeman was seen as part of the gang robbing people, and in Kisumu as well. And in Mathare here, there's a young girl was shot on Monday.
Oh, the one in medical school.
Yeah, medical school, for doing nothing. What's wrong with our police force? What's wrong with our system?
I think what is wrong, from where I'm seated, is it's rotting from the bottom up, down bottom. It's through and through, yeah? And before I say what I want to say, I want to emphasize, like, there is a difference between the force that used to be, and then during when IPOA was launched, we decided to go to the service. And I think the policemen themselves, the police service, they're having problems understanding the difference between the two. They are more applying force as opposed to giving service. I think, first of all, I don't know, it could be training such that these people lack their own personal integrity. You know, because at the end of the day, you have to be answerable. So you have to, in the first place, be answerable. But on the other hand, when they make these mistakes and then they get this protection, sometimes our judicial system sometimes is taking too long. And when it's taking too long, it looks like nothing has actually happened. And therefore, it looks like there's a top-down command problem. And then within itself, when you have the same police force sometimes used by politicians to be rough with citizens. And then, so they also, it's very difficult to tell them to do this. And then behind the scenes, behind the tent, you're doing these things against the citizens when we have riots and all that. So this thing it's very difficult to preach wine and you drink water. This is what how I'm seeing it. Therefore, I think so that we need to strengthen, like IPOA. It's like it is toothless. You cannot send a dog to bite its own dog, isn't it? We need to do those kind of things. There's just also, I don't know, we need to pay our police force better, or I don't know what we need to do, because all of us are living in these very mental health, stressful things, and they're just taking out on people.
For me, I feel like our police are trigger happy. And when they pull the trigger, they feel like they've done something. And I agree with you that our police, they have never been taken to take accountability of whatever they are doing. I don't think it's a Kenyan problem only. I've interacted with police from other countries, and I don't know why they behave the same way. So I don't know whether they're being paid little, or they're not motivated, or is it the training? If I can just say a short story, I had a friend of mine years back. She went for that training. And then when she came back, she was totally a different person, that she could not integrate in the society, that she had to even live where we were living, and even our friendship ended because of that. Because she could not understand, she's looking at you as a suspect. I was even telling a friend of mine that story recently when we were talking about the police brutality. She could not like have a normal conversation with you. And the way, there's a way she looks at you, and you feel like, ananijudge, and I already have done something. So it was so hard for her that she told me, auntie, Mali Mefika, I think I need to go and live where they always live, in those houses where they're surrounded with their other fellow policemen. So I don't know whether it's the training, or it's the pay, as you say, as you put it, or because they've never been held accountable for whatever they are doing. You understand? But our policemen should stop being trigger happy. Because when they shoot like that, so I don't know whether they don't have empathy in them, because even if you're a police officer and you are supposed to offer the service bid, you're supposed to also be empathetic when you're pointing that gun and shooting. Don't you? It doesn't ring in your mind that where I'm pointing this gun, there might be someone there, or a living being somewhere that you're going to shoot, and that person is going to die. You see, even during these demonstrations and everything, you see how they behave. Even with the media, how they rough them up. So it's a mess. For me, I feel it's a mess that it needs to be addressed. But I don't know. For me, I've experienced different police. They all behave the same. So I don't know whether it's a training or whatever. I don't know. If their psychology is always it gets messed up with, I really don't understand. I would really want to understand where they're coming from. Yeah.
You know, power corrupts, eh? And absolute power does what?
Corrupts absolutely.
Now, these people, they went for training for how many months? How many months do...
6 months or a year?
How many months do the police go
Around
for the
6.
training?
6.
6 months at Kiganjo. After that, they don't go for refresher courses or any other thing. What they were taught within those 6 months is what they apply for the rest of their lives. They also know that there's something called consequences. And they know that there's nothing that is going to happen to them either way. We saw, I did in Senate or where, and one of our senators was questioning why those people were transferred, the group from Nandi, why they were transferred. Because the kind of discipline that they normally get is just being transferred maybe a harsher region, or you just transferred to another working station so that your case can be swept under. And they also know that it's going to take a long time before they get prosecuted. Look at what happened to this case by this police officer from Kamkunji, Clinton. That guy is still going to court. 1 year down the line, he knows that the whole system will either favor him or he'll just be let go, because due to what we call evidence, they'll also manipulate it themselves. That's what it has been happening. You know, it's not the first time. So they know that whatever they do, they won't face any consequence that you might say that might worry them. Again, when it comes to this kind of situations, you look at these people and you ask yourself, do they live in this same country that we live in? You know, given the circumstances that they live in, you know, these people, they live in what's on X, it's called mathematical sets, the kind of houses they live. Those two mabati houses, we call them mathematical sets. And Kenyans try to really talk about their issues, you know, we need to provide better housing for our police, we need to do this and this for the police, we need to raise their salaries. But again, every now and then, they'll always harass you, with or without any issue that you're facing them. On our roads, what do? They've let matatus go rogue because they get their small something. So for the police, this is not something that's at its new. No, they've been doing it and they know that they won't face any consequences. And at the end of the day, Kenyans will move on as we have done.
Yeah, hold the mic. Yeah. So now, when I discuss about the police, I ask myself, why is the army too different? The army, the military is professional, it's structured, it's well-trained, it's disciplined. The problem of the Kenyan police is its leadership, the way it was formulated, and the way it has never been reformed. Let me give you a very clear example, and this is what the police should be doing as a service, and IPOA should be doing. Should have the bands, the way the military has. A general must be 60 to 70. If you reach beyond that age, you're out, and you must serve for 4 years. You're done. The brigadier, this age, 60 to 65. If you're there, you're done. You get out. A colonel, the same. Now, the police, you find a corporal who has been a corporal for 30 years. You understand?
Very disheartening.
In the military precision, you cannot be in the same rank and the person who came your junior overtake you. It can never happen. There's always a structure. The police must be structured the way the military is structured. It's only in the police where a sergeant can be promoted to the IG. Who in this world, how are you? That is transferring incompetence to leadership. Number one. The moment they brought the military man Ali to lead the police, there was a lot of reform because he did not entertain their nonsense. Because he brought the military mentality to the police force. You are only promoted on merit. If you have those mistakes, you kill people, you are interdicted and fired. So if the police in Kenya can borrow the military training and military structure and say this is how we want to run our police force, then we will not have such stupid incidences, and it will immediately stop being a force and become a service. People will know these are your rights, this is what you can do. You cannot be a constable for 30 years because you do not have a tall uncle to promote you to corporal. And then there's a guy from the university who becomes the IG before you. There must be structures, and those structures have to be followed. There must be what we call trainings. The military have proper trainings throughout the service. And college. There's university for military. Where is the university for police? Where they are taken back to school every time. You must be in school all through so that you understand the people you are dealing with. The people you are being taught to deal with are not, these are different generations, and you must learn them in a different setup. So the police in Kenya is a mess because of one, training, and there's a facility which you can give them. And the police should borrow from our Kenyan military. And first of all, do not make sure, actually the president should make sure that you appoint someone from military to lead the police.
But so do they even understand the human rights, like the rights? Because sometimes when you interact with a police officer and then you tell them, this is my right, or this, you start explaining things to them, you become the enemy. And they feel like you're now demeaning them.
Yeah, because now they have not been taken to school. And that's why I'm saying in-service training should be there all through. A policeman cannot be just walking with a gun every day without going to class.
You know, one thing, they have perfected this art of public manipulation.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that time when police go on strike in Kenya? When they go on go slow, the city becomes a whole mess. And they do it on purpose, you know, because of either salary delays or such things. Then you get to a point whereby we have a police force. Somebody out there has a very nice agenda of reforming them, but they are very rigid. We established the gender desk a while back, and every police station actually has a gender desk. But what happens there, especially when a man goes to report there, that he have had domes or something, these people, they are very insensitive. Unapigwajwa na mwanamke? You know, those are the kind of questions they ask you. And then for a lady, she goes there, she's been beaten, they'll ask you, ulifanyia nini mzee? You know, those kind of things.
Yeah, mambo ya nyumbani.
Yeah? Those kind of things. You know, we might look at them from an angle and say that, dismiss them, these are small things. But, you know, it starts from the very basic, the police station. How do those people receive people? You go there. How do they even operate the OB book? You know, before they give you even a P3 form or something, they write for you that, you know, you have to pay for it.
They say there's no ink.
Yeah. Recently, you had our CS saying that our land cruisers, they don't have fuel. And as Mwananchi, we are going to be fueling our police land cruisers because they don't have fuel. What kind of nonsense is that? And why are we going to allow these things?
But what did Murkomen say?
Yeah.
In reply to that?
It's really bad, and you know, it shows the mentality of this what we call the service. Instead of providing services, they are doing the opposite. Yeah, and it's really sad.
Anyway, talking of people doing the opposites, we want to talk about the auctioneers. So this week actually, there was a guy who made waves on social media. His lorry was taken away.
2 lorries.
2 lorries, each worth 10 million.
8, both of them.
8, both of them, and 16 million. And they were sold for a paltry 1.5 million. And so he was crying and saying, where can people go for help? There were these rowdy auctioneers. And there's been a lot of these cases. There's been all these people who lend mobile phones, people who lend motorcycles. And this is happening on the backdrop of when we actually have laws. A law is such that for immovable items like land and a house, there's a mandatory proclamation date of 45 days. For movable items like cars or other items, you need a 7 days notice that has to be published. And there's even a new law, the induplium law. It has always been there, but I think now, in the last couple of years, now the courts are now actually, and the citizens are aware of it, where someone cannot charge you more than twice. But there's even a law that actually protects owners from these kind of things where if your property is being auctioned, you cannot sell 85% less than 85% of the value. It has to be at least 85% or more. So when things like this still happen, sometimes you wonder, is it because people don't know their rights, or people don't know how to move this system, or why is it still happening, and what can Kenyans actually do? CEO tuanze na wewe.
You know, one of the biggest problem, there is a very, what we call predatory auctioneers. And I was telling you guys, you can have all those laws in this country. But those laws, when it comes, when shit hits the fan, you'll be crying like that man with his schools going children and having paid 1.5 with a balance only 1 million and 8 million lorries sold. Because you've tried, the court is in law. Our laws, our system, our courts are as corrupt as our lawyers, number one. Because when the judge was making that ruling, and this guy has paid 1 million, they would have been given a reprieve and said, okay, when can you go? And you go and put an injunction. All these things, you're being told when your lorries have been sold and have been taken by the auctioneers. Now, this man is going back to look for the lorries when it's already out of his hands, completely. I had a facility with a bank, and I had paid 4 million for my lorry. And I had finished, it was a new lorry, I was just remaining with 500,000 only to finish the loan. So I was waiting to pay in a week or two. The next day I'm told, your lorry has been, the auctioneers have pounced on it. I said, why is it? The driver tells me we didn't even offload. They've gone with the goods worth 5 million. So the owner of the goods is calling. The lorry is in a yard. The auctioneers need already immediately for you to release for you, they need 250,000 because they've captured it. You have 500,000 to pay, and then they'll still want some more money per day storage. So now already I'm in a debt of 1 million.
So did you not receive the notice, or how did this happen? Because especially if you're dealing with a large institution like a bank, you can get restitution.
Let me tell you, who told you that the people who work in those banks, they don't know the lorries which are almost getting out?
No, but by now you need to have sued that bank to hell.
That's
and
what
gotten
happens.
triple. And
Yeah.
but
anyway, I managed to get money, I paid them, but that's what happens.
That's what happens. But you see, the more, especially with the larger institutions like banks, are much more careful. You know, with these 45 days, so let me just give our viewers a trick, especially if somebody is facing, like they've received a notice, like your house is going to be sold or your land is going to be sold. This is what you do. You know you owe, you owe. Sometimes actually it's the truth that you owe. So yeah, you try to delay tactics, then they are going to, they put it in the paper, they've advertised. Don't do anything. Wait until maybe just 2 weeks before it happens, or even just a week before it happens. And then you go and raise an objection that they did not see. Go back to court with an objection. Yeah? They'll be forced to stop, attend to that objection, and by the time they're through with the objection, they have to re-advertise another 45 days again. Hizo 45 days, sitakuwa umejipanga. You can arrange it. You know, there is the law. There is the law that must be followed. Yeah? And if they don't follow the law, by the way, they might seem like they are getting away with this. If they sell for less, it's just that a lot of people fear courts. In Kenya, you have not arrived until you have actually been in the court of law.
Dr.
You have not.
Some of us have been in court.
Yeah, but you can actually get a good lawyer. I can refer you my lawyer. I have a tough cookie, a tough lawyer.
This vitu ni different kwa ground.
Wapi uko? No, let's not leave viewers hanging like that. You know, and me, I'm not talking about what I was told. We live in this country. No one told me. These things we can just deal. Yeah? Don't fear the courts. Dawa ya moto ni moto. Go to those courts, fight it out. If they sell your thing, it may take 10 years, but let me tell you, justice will be served. You know, we read too many things about the courts being corrupt and all those things. Yes, it's there. But actually, there's nothing like a persistent person. Nobody is a living stone. Not all judges are corrupt. You will get one who will actually go back and look 20 years, 30 years, and you get restitution.
I've had land case for 10 years. 10.
Welcome
a land
to
which I have title, so, and the guy is imposing to be part of it. It has passed through 7 judges. I'm still the 10th year I'm in court with all my documents there.
It's okay. There was a title that miraculously appeared after 30 years. For that farm, I don't know what in Nyeri. You saw it?
Yes, I'm telling you.
You know, don't give up. This is the thing. Even in Ngara the other day, there was this Indian family that some rogue people just came and decided, oh, your lease is ending, so we are going to change it at the city council and not give you the right. Legally, the law allows you to be able to renew your lease. And yes, some people may actually seem to be going ahead of you because they know somebody in some institution. You keep on fighting. Nobody wants to fight. But if it ever happens to you, you need to fight. Don't fear the courts.
Okay.
The courts just turned back the land in Ngara to these Indian boys. They got it back.
Quickly, We finish with
I will
going for a
donate
break.
my time this side because I'm learning today. I have never gotten myself in that situation. So I don't want to lie.
You see, this whole thing happens because of the economic situation Kenyans are finding themselves in. For the first time, we are seeing the newspaper pages where auctioneers, they are taking more pages than obituaries. Yeah, in our newspaper.
They have even refused.
They're doing what?
They
They have even
have more
reduced.
spaces than the obituaries. This means that every day, every minute, every hour, there's a Kenyan being auctioned out there.
It's true.
This is because of a decision that this Kenyan made that he wants to better his life out there, make a step in whatever situation you want to do. But in between, you find yourself that you're not able to accomplish what you wanted. Here comes the cartels. And you know, they work in cahoot with everybody, from the judiciary to the very common person. Even your neighbor, they work with him because they'll look for any single situation that they'll be able to manipulate, and they'll take anything from you that they want. As you go to the court, remember that your livelihood has gone.
Stop.
Yeah,
So you'll need, first of all, to look for an alternative to sort out your issues here, while at the same time trying to think about how the law will help you. What will the normal Kenyan go for, given the situation that he finds for himself in? Most of them give up, they let go, and they start looking for other things. This doesn't mean that the law doesn't work. Yes, as Dr. C says, the law does work, but at the expense of a number of things. One, your sanity. Two,
Sanity.
a lot of public humiliation. I don't know if you've ever seen these videos whereby even landlords, they come and break your door or even
Yeah,
remove
lock,
your mabati just to put pressure on you. I don't know if you've ever been in a cab. A young man is trying to all his best. He has bought a nice taxi from a loan company or something, and then in the middle of your journey, they just stop the whole thing, and this guy gets stressed because he knows if he's not going to pay the money that they want, watamchota, and it happens a lot. Look at our even our communication devices, our phones. You don't pay the normal money, they cut you off, and they don't even care. If you're not paying that money, you're cut off. You can't even reach out to your people. There are other mobile loan sharks. These people, they will even call your grandmother. They'll call your father. They'll call your pastor and tell him that you owe them 600 shillings. Only, you know.
But you know,
And if you're
Kenyans need to
And
know.
if you're not going to pay, they are going to, they always suggest some
embarrass you.
very crazy
But it's illegal.
things. It's illegal.
It's
yes.
illegal, and by the way, Kenyans need to know that if that ever happens to you, you need to document. Don't just go and say, oh, I was harassed. Show the
Dr. C.
documentation.
Dr.
Yes.
C, yes. You'll need to follow the law. I agree with you. Absolutely. You need to follow the law and like
So let me
maybe
ask you.
take them to where
I
you
want us to
Let
go for a break.
1 minute. Let me just ask 1 minute.
Yes.
Like the people who you buy things from, like those who give you loans, they lend you loans. Are they also auctioneers?
Or they have auctioning companies that
Yeah,
they
they
will
do.
release on you. But if you borrow, you must pay. Nyinyi wa Kenya, you borrow, you pay.
Please live within your means if you are afraid of auctioneers
Auctioneers.
like I am.
But we have to do business.
We have to
You
do
have to-
business.
I'm living
yeah.
within my means.
But the
I'm doing business
predatory-
within my means. So, because those stories scare me. You can even tell from my face.
Okay,
you have
let's
to
go
ta-
for a
you, have,
break.
you have to take a big, the bigger the risk, the higher
bigger
the
the
returns, and you can
returns.
take a big risk.
All right.
Thank
And
you,
let's,
by
doctors.
borrowing money, if you borrow, you pay.
Yes, payback.
let's go for a short break. When we come back, we come with more interesting conversations. It's Let's Be Real.
Welcome back, viewers. I hope you have a glass of Samantha wines, and it's hot in here with hot stories.
Yeah.
Millie,
Yes.
what story do you have? Anti-million.
Yes. So, Dr. C, Zari, the business mogul, just said, she posted something online and she said, if you invest in your woman, or if your woman has money, that wealth will be transferred to to the children. But when a man has money, that money will get you more siblings, more wives, more everything, and the children will suffer. So is it true?
It's very true. And me, I'm just going to talk from a global level on something I've been talking about, that it's true. And even NGOs know this. That's when they go even do interventions, they usually go through women.
Yeah.
But that said, what she was in another language talking about is about the fact that we need to build generational wealth. Okay? It is very important for this continent, some people call dark continent, for all of us starting to actually build generational wealth. Now, the more the children you have, whether even if it's you as a woman or it's your husband going out there to bring these women, you are reducing the per capita within that homestead. Therefore, the amount of money that you would have spent to take them to a beautiful private school, private universities, where they'll meet all the princes and is reduced. You understand? You will go to hospitals where you'll be required to fundraise in case, God behold, something happens. You reduce that. And then your children will start off from a very disadvantaged point of view. And why is this? Is because women, we are wired to be nurturing. We will look after our children. Men naturally, sometimes when they get this money, they want to go and spend it and be the one with the biggest car,
they want
the
more
loudest,
women,
more women.
more
While it's
children.
not happening to all the men, yeah, perhaps I'll not give the reasons why it is happening. I just want to say it is happening and actually offer advice to these men. Actually, your generation, your progeny will be poor forever. Unless you're a billionaire of I don't know what size. This polygamy, these many girls, is actually eroding, and you're reducing the whole continent to continue to be dark.
So my opinion on that, I would say polygamy does not erode your wealth.
It does.
Because I believe in polygamy.
Very good.
Yeah, it doesn't erode your wealth. If you are a wise man and you have wealth enough, just
What is
share.
enough wealth?
If you have wealth that you know you can take care of 2 women, please take care of 2 women well.
Oh, can I
you
say
have.
something?
So-
Maybe we are not talking about the same wealth. I'm talking about dollar billions
Yes,
in
I'm
the
talking
bank
about this.
account.
Yes, yes,
No,
it
but tell me $1 billionaire in Kenya here, really polygamous. There are maybe 3 people.
Yes.
A lot of let me tell you, when you look at the wealthy families, they are rigorous about who you're going to marry, how you're going to preserve that wealth, and exactly. They have trusts, they have, so, let's not talk about 2 shillings kind of wealth. We are talking about generational wealth that will empower 10 generations from today, such that we are not sitting here borrowing IMF money. That's what we are talking about.
You can still do that when you're in a polygamous setup. I still believe in polygamy. So when you have money, please take care of the women that are around you.
People need to
Yes,
stop
and you
being
need to.
selfish.
Yes, women, women, please
People
stop
need
being.
to stop being selfish. And I'll cut you short. You just need to stop being selfish. Just because I've worked for my money and I've invited you to come into my life through this institution called marriage, doesn't give you the moral right to dictate my life. What I've hustled for is not for you only. It's also for me. And what's best for me? If I get another family, well and good. Yourself, you should also be working for the same family, increasing the wealth. So when saying that men just distribute our wealth here and there, just shows very myopic kind of thinking. And thinking that this man does not have the capacity to increase the wealth given the resources that they have. Remember, more children,
More wealth.
exactly.
Which
We are Africans.
century are you living in?
We are Africans.
21st century.
Which Africans? We are Africans.
We are
Hebu
Africans.
muachane na hii mambo ya
We
we
are
are
Africans.
Africans.
It's our business.
It's our business, but I'll tell you, it's also my business. Don't I look like a Benin sculpture today? Yeah?
Anyway, and I want to support you, Manu.
I'm alone.
Yes, you are.
I'm outnumbered.
Let me tell you something.
And the eyes have it.
I do not like this institution of people start telling us how to spend our money.
Exactly.
Huh?
It's our money. We work for
Okay,
it.
let me give you an example.
Yeah.
If you are an African person, and I want us to live how we've lived, maybe our children will not live as us.
How we've lived.
Yeah, because personally,
And we are still asking for aid.
let me ask you, for
Health,
example,
medic-
I'm the firstborn in our family. My duty was to educate my brothers. I did diligently, 100%. 100%. And they can watch and they'll tell you that man spent his money on us. Diligently, I've taken care of my family, my father, my auntie. The other day I'm from Dar es Salaam. My cousin was marrying. We contributed.
How much well ni dowry
We
did you
gave
pay?
2 million Kenya shillings to the family.
Mmesikia wasichana 2 million
So,
ilipatiana na
the
ng'ombe.
na ng'ombe.
Okay.
So, for
Peke yake.
me, I have never stopped being an African man. I will never stop because of the demands of the society telling you, and I was looking at it this way. If I didn't educate my brothers, today, they would have had 10 kids in the ground there who I've been still looking after.
Are we talking about black tax, black men,
No.
or polygamy,
Polygamy
and promiscuity?
And I'm just talking about how this thing starts. And now if I would decide to take another wife for myself, what is the mistake with that? It is my money. I'm spending it. I'm making it.
Exactly.
I'm earning it. It is, if you're an African man, and by the way, Dr. C, not everyone wants to be a dollar billionaire.
Exactly.
But we need
know,
to.
no,
There are
no, 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 no,
advantages.
no.
We need to.
Not
Also,
everyone.
we still want to continue
Not
borrowing
everyone.
IMF money.
That is the government
That's a
problem.
government
We still
Not
want
a
to
family
Bill
problem.
Gates to
I want
bring
to
our
tell
No,
you,
that is not a
someone
family
from
problem.
where I sit.
It's a government
From
problem.
Oh,
where
it's
I sit.
because they want to fund
No, no, no.
education,
Let me tell you.
amulipi school
Let
fees.
me tell you, Dr. C, from where I sit, there are things we call traditional wealth. I want to have 1,000 herds of cattle.
That's still good.
You understand?
Like in 1,000, alafu you need to pay how many dowries? You see how 1,000 cattle zitakuwa affected?
Dr. C.
Because
Because
you need to pay dowries for all these women.
Me and Manu here, we are talking about ranching.
Yeah, but your ranch will be reduced because you will have to subdivide at one point when
But
you
see,
go.
you
But
see
it's
what
like
you
at the
see
end of
what's
the day-
very
Succession.
It's
And my
it's
kids
also
will also
Oh,
be
like we haven't seen
let's
it.
look at it from this
So,
angle.
let me-
Dr. C,
Yeah.
there's these cases whereby billionaires have amassed a lot of wealth and immediately they die. Their children squabble it.
yeah.
All of it.
That's not what we are talking
But
about.
No, it
That's
happens.
a different
what
thing.
It
Zari
happens.
Is saying,
That is
What
different.
Zari is
It
saying,
happens,
guys, that you invest in your woman. Like even if you're in a polygamous setup, you invest in your woman. And you see, even in polygamous setup, CEO, you can confirm this. If I was the first wife, my man has to invest in me so that I can pass that to my children.
Of course.
And if you marry a right woman, that right woman will help you create more wealth. You understand?
No, they build
Yeah,
homes. They
so
don't create wealth.
we
No,
create
no,
that
no, 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 no.
environment for you to create that
They
wealth.
only build homes.
Who builds
Oh
homes?
my gosh.
We
And I'm
create
actually
an
on the same
environment
platform
for
with you.
you,
Yes.
so that
That's
you
the-
can
that's the-
have
that's-
that
that's-
wealth.
that's the first
And you
thing
see,
they're
that is
supposed
the
to do at
reason
home.
why, if you're going to add
Once
another
you
wife,
get
you
married,
consult me.
Once
Clearly.
you get married,
Yeah.
your first task is to build a home, not wealth
You
creation.
can be
No,
a
you build
homemaker.
a home.
creation
I
is-
don't build a
Wealth
home.
creation is for the man.
A woman
to
does not
provide-
build a home, my dear.
What?
You build a home.
What?
I come and create, like
No,
you
no, no,
build
no,
a
no,
house,
no.
I come and make a
Yes.
home for
Me,
you.
I'll
Yes.
just, I'll
I
give
don't
you
build.
mini
We
use.
build a house.
Yes. I come and,
you
yes.
build a home.
Yes.
Yes.
You
Well,
build a
listen,
house, I
ladies and
create a
gentlemen.
nice environment for you
Ladies
so
and
that you
gentlemen,
can.
you see,
prosper.
Zari as a woman, you know, I don't know what her claim to fame is.
She was
That's
a
my
musician.
sentence.
I don't know what her claim to fame
She was a musician before.
No, I always think
She
that
married-
Zari
she
is
married
just
well.
a bleached
Yeah.
socialite. And
She
that's-
bleached?
No,
she's
no,
a-
no,
She's
no.
not
she was a
Arab,
bimbo.
Indian.
No,
I-
no, no.
I do not
Oh my
take Zari
God.
seriously.
I'm sorry that you
She's
are
a-
called a bimbo.
She's a socialite bimbo.
Oh.
But then,
Okay, endeleeni tu kusema hivyo and I think she's doing well for
Yeah.
herself. She's done very well for herself and she's
And
so
she
in
knows how to
tune.
spot the right men to marry.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
the Diamond of Tanzania.
Even Vera does the same. It's okay.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking
top
You mean she's a more
predatory,
sophisticated?
top predatory skills.
Datings.
They got that.
I am not part of that conversation.
You
May
know-
I just extract myself?
Let me just tell you, Zari, my good friend Vera Siddiq, I love you.
I'm
girl.
not part of that conversation.
I love you,
Vera,
girl,
I'm
but
not.
the truth is, you know what you do.
Eh?
Do it.
CEO,
Nobody will
I
ask
don't
you.
know.
No, we don't judge you.
No, yeah, we don't
And
ask
you can create your
questions.
wealth the way you
Do
create
you know
it.
when women build wealth, that's how they start. They start questioning, what do you do?
Yes.
Yeah, they start doubting. A woman cannot build wealth. A woman cannot think outside the box.
No, we can.
Oh, this is
Yeah,
so classic.
so,
What happens? Yeah, when women, when you want to bring women to book, like so and so, tell us what you do. We see you
Exactly.
traveling. You start labeling her because you start giving her those narratives that are not true.
Zari, you
Because
can see what she's doing. She has a school.
you want to,
Yeah.
to deconstruct them. Zari runs a school. She's she's an influencer.
She was a musician
she's paid
before.
very well, by the way. I saw her the other day with Fine Urban Interiors. They bring her. She comes to show all these billionaire homes, and when it sells, she gets a really good cut out of it. And she's paid.
She's a responsible mother.
She's a very responsible mother. She runs a school. So me, I'm not
We
going to be
just
on
want-
this platform.
We just want to ask them for accountability.
Which accountability? Why do you want women to
Source
account
of their wealth.
for even?
But
source
we've
of their
already
wealth?
told you what
Source
she's
of-
doing.
They must
Start by
declare.
asking
They must
people like
declare.
Epstein. Start by asking
You know that
people
declaration
like
form of
Epstein.
wealth? Yeah, it's high time that we start doing that.
Accountability.
Exactly. We need that.
So what are we talking about? Okay, what was the original conversation about?
Investing in your family, investing
Yes.
in
the
your
argument
wife.
is-
These women are raising their children.
Men
they're
don't
responsible
want to
sons.
invest in their family. That's the biggest problem.
Oh,
They
so
don't
we
want
buy
to
land,
invest.
we buy for you.
No, you
everything
don't
and
want to
everything.
invest.
Why do we do that?
Actually,
You know, men, we care about our
Listen.
legacy.
No, you
And our
don't.
legacy is
Manu.
carried by our children.
Manu,
Yeah.
you know the biggest problem? There's nothing a man gets from marriage.
Nothing, absolutely.
Hell
Zero.
no.
Oh
Let
my
me tell you,
goodness.
there's nothing
Imagine
a
I
man
am
gets
Men
from marriage.
benefit.
No.
There's a study now, very serious results out, and they've shown
With-
married women actually live shorter, less happier lives than
Than
their
men.
single women with children.
So
and
ma-
married men, in fact, benefit more from a marriage than women do. This is a huge randomized study.
Now listen, let me tell you from where I sit that men get nothing from marriage.
Men
The
Oh
benefit
my
moment
God.
you
from
walk into
marriage.
that marriage,
Including people
She-
like look like you.
you pay school fees, you pay dowry, which we paid last week, you pay everything upkeep, you pay
But
pay
that
black
is your
tax, you pay everything.
responsibility.
Better.
That is your
What do you get?
responsibility.
What
That
do you
is
get?
your
You've done that. What do you
responsibility.
get?
What do you get?
At the end
What,
of
that
the
is
day?
your responsibility. You get a family.
Don't
So-
you get a family too?
You get a family.
Don't
I
you
am.
get a
In
family?
fact, I'm not get. I'm
Did
losing.
you say you're an African man?
Yes.
Yes.
And you'll never stop the nings. Sasa ona hawa.
Is it- no, no.
Hawa sumba
We are still,
musumba
we are
musumba
Africans,
huyu.
we are Africans, we are Africans, but we refuse to be manipulated by the modern,
Do you know when a woman gets married? When a woman gets married, a woman loses a lot.
What?
Lose
You
what?
lose a
What?
lot. One.
What do they lose?
Your
you
shape?
Lose, you lose your identity by adopting Mrs. So and so.
We don't want, you can remain with your name.
Second,
And look at these African men.
second, you lose
said
your
you never
shape,
stop being an
your
African man.
body. You lose everything in your body because
What?
you are going to give birth
Including
to your
your
offspring.
brain.
Okay,
A
don't-
child will
okay,
never
don't-
be
Yes.
born
Don't
without
have
an
my
IQ.
kids.
Don't have you?
My kids.
And then you go spread your
Ah,
seeds
there's a way-
outside.
So
you
you are
see,
a certified
there's a way-
Again, the
There's a-
third thing that
there's
we,
a way God
the
created
third thing
this
that
whole
we,
thing to
lo-
operate.
you know, the third thing that we lose, we also lose, like we lose when it comes to career, when it comes to advancing your life, you lose it because at some point you will have to stop and raise your family.
Then just don't give birth.
Okay, you've had ladies, please don't give birth to any man
No.
unless
Before
he
you
pays
leave
you.
your father's home compound, you already you already made a decision. I'm joining this man, not at his father's house, his own place, right? You make that decision. You live in your father's house,
Yeah.
you're going to a man's place.
Yes.
Right? So automatically you know that you are not going to your own place that you've built, you are going to another man's
Yes,
place.
and I'm becoming your
Number
responsibility.
two,
Add
you
that
need
one.
you need to adhere to the rules of that place.
I agree because I'm becoming your responsibility.
Number three, this man, whatever he has, is for his legacy. A man builds a legacy, whether through your children or through your offsprings and every other way. So you choosing to spread your seeds as far and wide as possible should be none of these person's
It
business.
is my business because you're trying to make me poor. You got me from
Why?
my rich daddy.
Why?
Now you're taking me to become poor because you're spreading everything. Now the per capita across board is being reduced. And then when
So
you die,
you came in
then
because
we,
of the
all
wealth.
these people, we're going to
You
spend
came in,
another 10
you came
years.
in because of the wealth.
Of course.
You
Of
see,
course.
we go back to our point.
Of course, we come in for wealth.
Very manipulative gender.
When you are
And that's
good
why you have
farm
to
and
play
wealth.
your responsibility of paying the bills, doing everything. You're paying for your children. Yeah, I'm there.
And what I do
I'm
with, what I do
supporting
with
you.
my
I am your
wealth,
support.
What I do with my wealth should be none of your business.
It is my business.
And that's why. That's
Manu,
why
give us
because-
another story.
Anyway, talking about these whole shenanigans that happens around, there's this lady called Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj, she's been getting a lot of traction around, apart from hanging out around with Donald Trump and every other person. You know, she's becoming closer to the MAGAs. She's actually one of the new proponents of Trump's administration and everything. So when this whole project came up about kind of Epstein-ish, about Jay-Z and her being denied a chance to go to the Grammys, as what she does, she decided to throw a tantrum, you know, talking about Jay-Z and his past, especially him dealing with young girls. He had Foxy Brown when she was 16 or so. There was also the case of Aaliyah, and then there's also the case of Beyonce. And, you know, people have been talking about him. He's been grooming girls, young girls, for quite a long. And there was also this story about Rihanna. He locked her, I think, in his office until she could sign the contract and all that. So, back to Nicki Minaj, she said that while these people were gathering for the Grammys and everything, there's this whole ritualistic stuff that happens, you know, the dark stuff for musicians, you know. And it caused a whole lot of debates around that. I'm not sure about you, our viewer, but Larry and the two ladies and the gentleman, I'm sure you have something to say about it.
Me, I have a lot to say.
Fungua roho.
I always have a lot to
Fungua
say. You know, I think the issue surrounding Jay-Z and Beyonce, there's been a lot of conspiracy theories about all these things you're talking about. People can go and check for themselves, you know, milling around, you know, what they're doing. So for me, number one, it just begs the question. We've had all these Epstein files that are out and all that. So if somebody's claiming something, I think it is worthwhile to go and check what are they saying. But then on the other hand, dealing with socialites and just these celebrities, it could be out of bitterness. But you see, this thing travels far and wide. So, you know, Beyonce and Jay-Z, they've never sued anybody. They have, you can say whatever you want to say. They have never, ever sued anyone of anything happening. You can say, and then it just really dies off. But I think the question we should try to answer is, where it comes to defamation, libel, all those things, as far as celebrity is concerned. Yeah? And because a lot of the things Nicki Minaj is saying, they're just conspiracy theories. Really, truly, they are, that have been around. So there's nothing new she has actually said. But in light, like I said, of Epstein, then we want to actually look, what is she really saying? In terms of defamation, I don't know if they will sue or not, but I think so that when you are a celebrity, then there's ground for them to sue if they wanted.
But there's this issue about him grooming young girls. Remember the case of Aaliyah?
Do you have the evidence? Something like
old,
that.
How old was Aaliyah?
Okay, what
when
I'm
they
saying,
were-
I don't know the details. I'm just issuing a global statement. I am just saying that if he was grooming, that's a very, very serious allegation. Do you have proof? If you have proof, show it. It needs to be investigated. Let's not pull it under the rug. if she knows she's very close to Trump, she is in a position to actually institute a case or something against Jay-Z. So is Nicki Minaj about to launch an album?
No, she's been hanging around with the MAGA guys, especially
Who are
after,
MAGA guys for the sake of us ordinary mortals?
It actually started like this. Remember when this story about Nigerian Christians being persecuted in the northern part of Nigeria, and Trump talked about it, and then there was this whole traction around it with the US government saying that they're going to get involved in that. And her being a Christian, that's how she started talking about this whole thing. She later got invited to go speak at the UN by the US ambassador to the UN. She got invited to go talk about it. After that, the traction went on and on and on, her being closely associated with the Trump's guys because she's kind of supporting them. At the end of the day, when the Grammys happened, that is when she threw this tantrum, saying that these people, whatever they are doing, whenever they are gathering, we have this ritualistic stuff that is happening, and we need to talk about it because at the end of the day, this is what Jay-Z has been doing.
Let me ask, what's the purpose for these rituals?
For many, it's to get fame. I don't know, you've interacted with our artists from Mombasa.
Does anybody get killed in those rituals?
There's this story by this rapper called Cannibal. I don't know if you know Cannibal. Cannibal is from Mombasa.
I've heard of
he talked about one of these things that they used to do. They'll go to a witch doctor. They will be taken under a number of processes, including being buried on the sands the whole night, being sprinkled with I don't know which blood.
And after all
Cannibal
that,
has been talking about that.
did he get what he wanted?
I mean, he got the fame he wanted. However much
if they're
it was
not breaking
short-lived.
the law, nobody is getting killed. They are practicing their
Their own
spiritualism. Wachana now.
But my only issue, because we want to close, my only issue with Nicki Minaj is it looks like a very orchestrated thing for me. These white girls, and when I see someone moving with Trump and they're taking on a black billionaire, there's a way he wants to discredit this couple who's been doing very well. And any black man in America who have succeeded has to calm down. And they have found a perfect way. You see, they're saying this guy groomed the girls. Okay, if they had sex with them, another issue. But grooming the girls on what perspective? Even Milli Vanilli was turned upside down to sign a contract by who? By Dr. Dre and Suge Knight.
Yeah.
So these are the rules of the game.
Yeah.
He was told, if you don't sign, we'll hang you upside down. He was hung upside down. He thought he was dying like a sign. So people do this. My argument is that what I've learned is that Nicki Minaj and Trump is using some of these guys to discredit black Americans who seem to be successful. And nothing you can put beyond Trump. Because Trump, before even becoming president, called Obama a guy from Africa. And he knew very well Obama's mother is from there. And the father is Kenyan. So there are people who are doing these things. Ritualistically in music is there. And even that girl, Nicki Minaj, must be a ritualist for you to have talked about ritualistic. And in the coastal regions, they're there. People do rituals in music. Unless you're born again and all that, you don't want to do it. But many musicians in Congo, in where, for you to continue with this thing, music is an art, is also part of the spiritualism. So people do a lot of things behind the scenes. So even if she's telling us, she must understand that for you to be invited to be, you must be part of the ritual system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I don't believe in rituals. I don't believe in those black magic. So if it works for you, well and good. If it doesn't, but where there's smoke, there's fire. So I think the same way we talked about the Jeffrey story, she has brought it up. And now we are going back to that bit where we are saying, who is listening to take action, to dig deep? I know what you're saying, that black Americans, when they're successful, they're being brought down. But look at the trail. Like every time there's something that has been brought up and investigated, they always find something.
You mean like Didi?
Like Didi,
But
like Kelly.
as
So
they're
I'm just saying,
investigating Didi, we got deep into this Bill Gates COVID situation. the mosquitoes in
Yes,
Kenya.
yeah.
Like tuanzie on a global
Yes, yes. So we,
So
I
at the
think we
moment
need
you're
to-
talking about
my
somebody.
argument is the selectiveness.
Yeah.
You see, if you're a black man and you've made money, they'll come for you. And they know you've made some mistakes along the way. You'll come down. On their own people, they are not. And I'll give you a classic example in European football. Not Mason Mount, this Manchester United player, Mason Greenwood, fought with a wife. The same thing, the other, Phil Foden had an affair with some other girls.
Yeah.
Him, he was chased even from UK because he was black.
But let me ask you, CEO, as we're talking about black magic, these people say that they do these things,
Yeah.
but they still work hard. How comes why don't they just do the black magic and sit and let things work
You
for
see,
them?
it's about people's cultures. I want you to understand very differently that if you come from a different perspective of life, you will not see. To them, it's not black magic. To us, it's black magic.
But black magic according to whose book?
Yeah.
If you're not killing anyone,
Yeah.
just tell me nobody was killed, nobody was
It's about a
raped,
belief system.
nobody has broken the law.
Yeah.
Practice your ritual.
It's just ritual.
But
Like, do your rituals, do your thing.
do your
If it's
thing.
gonna be about
do your thing. By the end of the
Doctor,
day,
do you have a ritual you
you,
survive
you also need to follow the law. You know, at the end of the day, you need to follow the law.
Yeah, it's true.
that,
Yeah.
then
We
you
need to
drink,
follow the law,
and you manifest,
but do not.
you drink.
But what I hate is that when a black man succeeds, we bring them down. Bring them down on facts.
Yeah.
Bring them down on issues. Nicki Minaj does not qualify to bring Jay-Z and Beyonce down. Yeah, pige ngoma yake huko.
She's
Yeah.
just being used to
Yeah.
create a show out there.
Yeah.
You know herself, she's not even American.
She's actually from...
She's not even
To
American.
deflect, she's supposed
You
to. Did I not see her house is even being auctioned?
Exactly.
Number two, she's actually, I think they want to deflect this Epstein story.
And you also
And
know
Jay-Z,
about...
Jay-Z and what's her name?
Beyonce.
Beyonce are the biggest thing happening. So I think they thought if they bring something on Jay-Z and Beyonce,
They'll
the
kill
world
this.
will be occupied with that and not
forget
listen
about
to Epstein.
yeah.
But no, we have to follow Epstein.
Until
That's
then.
the topic. What was Elsa Majimbo saying?
Yeah.
No, we are ending the show.
I know, we are just ending by me asking, what was Elsa Majimbo saying about Naomi Campbell,
And Dr.
who
C.
has been implicated
Dr.
in,
C.
yes.
Let's talk about the young models whom they've been shipped. And you know, nobody talked about them. We just saw them at Sijui, young models from Turkana, Sijui from where, going to start at the Victoria Secret, Sijui, blah, 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 blah. Nobody talks about their story.
Now we want to
We
people
really
need
need to dig
look-
deeper.
None of
today's
them has
society.
complained,
Yeah.
so, but they need to come forward.
Yeah, let's end the show. Of course, it is a pleasure hosting you this evening. Of course, we had a blast, very interesting stories. Keep watching until next weekend.
And I just want to say, I'm going to the Milan Fashion Week, and I shall be sharing the stories.
Oh.
Kindly show us your ritual. You
My
just showed-
ritual?
Yeah.
You just lift the glass and you say, cheers,
Cheers.
cheers, and you
Cheers.
manifest.
Yes.
You manifest, my life is beautiful, everything that is good comes to me, and then you take a drink, sip. And
Until-
that's it, folks.
Yeah.
Good night.